it ain't broken, don't fix it. But you can't rest on your laurels either. So here we are, BMW's best-selling model X3 has just gone through a little bit more than nip and tuck. It's longer, wider, but lower. New look, new cabin, same engines. But was messing about worth it? Have they made it better? Or perhaps worse? Controversial design to some, and yes, we are talking about the grille. But it would not be a BMW if we didn't talk about the grille. But here we take it a step further. It's illuminated and I absolutely love it. Under the sculpted bonnet, we've got the most powerful version of the X3, which is the M50. Let's take a look at you. Well, well, looks like it's not just me who's hungry for some power. We've got company, and Martin sneaked under the bonnet and had a bit of a nibble. Anyway, a juicy 3-litre straight-six goddess. It is actually a mild hybrid, 381 horses, 540 newton meters of torque, a little bit bruised cover, but it all works. We also have less powerful petrol, diesel, and a plug-in hybrid. All new X3s are all-wheel drive and operated by an 8-speed automatic gearbox. 1, 2, 3. BMW declares this will do 0 to 100 in 4.6 seconds. Everything is in sport, foot on the brake, foot on the throttle, launch control active, off she goes. Holy shit, Jesus, I mean no, Anna, the traction is absolutely astonishing, it just fires off. Good brakes as well. It's not 4.6 seconds, BMW liar. It's 4.41. Pretty hell, that got me excited. The sound though, it is a blend between fake and real. I feel that oftentimes the fake actually overrides the real, which is such a shame because this is an absolutely glorious straight-six engine. It is not brutal. It is not a wild animal, but is effective and pronounced, so you didn't have to do that, BMW, did you? Four real exhaust pipes. Boot space big, square, 570 litres with netting and hooks. Bear in mind, if you go for the plug-in hybrid, it will be a little bit smaller. That's enough about the boot space, it's time to rev it. Modern and sporty. I like the cabin. Overall, the quality of the materials, the fit and finish is very good, although I am seeing an increased amount of plastic fantastic, scratchy. This was a rather cheap move, BMW, and you know it. Luckily, ambient lighting saves the day. You can, of course, change the color of it, but look how beautifully laid out and how sophisticated it is. Nice steering wheel with the paddle shifters. One paddle you use as a boost function, which will give you, well, just that. It will boost your performance and your confidence. Now, I understand going from analog dials to digital, but these ones are absolutely horrendous. Somehow Porsche has managed to make this transition a little bit smoother and softer, but BMW, you fall flat on your ass here. These aren't pretty. Anyway, moving on, because this is a proper SUV, you've got plenty of storage space and all the bits and bobs that you use in daily life. Moving on to infotainment system, in my personal opinion, this, together with MBUX from Mercedes, are two top infotainment systems available on the market. You can operate through a touchscreen or through this beautiful swivel down here. I found the swivel to be far less distracting and it's just gorgeous. The system itself is easy, straightforward, very intuitive. Now, at first, it might look like a bit of a mumbo jumbo, but this is a German car. Everything here makes sense. Do you need all these apps and all these icons? No, you don't. So you select the ones that you do, and then you pin it. And if that's not good enough, you can always plug in your Apple CarPlay or your Android. But I'll show you the graphics. Oh, these are good. Crisp, crystal clear. It rapidly responds to the touch of your finger. Oh, I do like it. Very good. Down here you've got your petite gear lever, shortcut buttons for driving modes and driving settings, traditional knob for volume control, track change. So that comes in very, very handy. Now I'll show you something that's very, very cool, and normally don't go through the settings, but today I'm making an exception. So adaptive cruise control, no rocket science, okay? But BMW is like a ninja. It takes it a step further. It's called situation distance control. So the distance adjusted automatically depending on the driving situation. So you want the distance to be slightly different on the motorway versus B road. Here is your answer. Overall, nice work BMW, although I would select a different color, not black. It's a bit too boring. Oh, it's very comfy, quiet, relaxing, and definitely feels like a rather significant upgrade from the previous generation. Good seating position and a view out. The steering is nice and light, but very responsive, BMW style, of course. Now, all of this combined with fantastic cameras, great turning circle, is what makes this car an absolute breeze to drive and maneuver. At higher speeds, there isn't much tire or wind noise. It's a wonderful long-distance cruiser and pretty cheap to run. So on a long-distance journey, you'll be averaging below 10 liters. Combination of roads, 11 to 12. That's it. This is a family SUV, but the badge M50 means it's a little bit more than this. So let's flick you to sport mode. It's a bit of a faff to get there. Right off the bat, I will tell you that this is one of the finest handling SUVs out there. I do have optional adaptive dampers, which means I can change the suspension settings to be sport or comfort. So for example, on a curvy, bumpy road, you want the suspension to be soft, but the handling to be sporty so that you don't vomit. I will tell you that for about $1,000, it makes the car feel a lot more expensive and lush. If you're buying the new X3, make sure you get the adaptive dampers. In the sport mode, the steering is sharp and quick, and now you can be certain it is a Beamer. It's all-wheel drive, but it does feel rear-wheel biased. The traction is fantastic, the grip is solid, it feels stable and rather predictable. But then you push it hard, and there's a moment when you think to yourself, what if I push it just a little bit harder? That's when it gets exciting. But don't worry, you won't be wrapping your teeth around the very next tree. Very fine and elegant handling, beautifully balanced. And if you think about it, it's not easy to achieve with an SUV because physics aren't exactly your friend here. When you floor it in comfort mode, there's a bit of a delay. You can live with that because it's still very good. In sport mode, oh, it is full of steam. And it feels like you've got a big pair of balls. Straight six, straight to my heart. The engine and the gearbox are wonderfully synchronized. The gearbox doesn't ponder, doesn't wander, it just gets on with it. You see, there's a reason why they call BMW the ultimate driving machine. So whilst the Chinese are improving their latest, greatest infotainment system, soon the bloody thing will probably wirelessly flush your toilet. BMW is focusing on the most obvious. Improve the driving dynamics even further. So it's up to you, the choice is yours.
Tell me, where do we go from here? Show me.
I sometimes feel that owning and driving an SUV can be the driest, the most uninteresting experience there is. And then we've got cars like this. Good looking, practical, reasonable, that deliver just enough excitement without being a lunatic. Sounds like a perfect husband-wife material, doesn't it? I like this car. It's smart, classy, with a modern twist. So, was it worth it building the new X3? The previous one wasn't broken. Far from it. But I say there's always room for improvement. And just like with the latest X1, this is a massive step up you didn't think you needed. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.